So, everything. I honestly don't know where to begin. And it's not like it was terrible, or it wasn't terrible all the time, but anyways, couple things you notice right off the bat, I'm sure. There's no cape at the moment. I'm wearing color and I just don't look like I usually do. And there's a very good explanation for all of that. I'm back at the Capitol actually. I'm in the stable right now. I got this. It's just wine, so it's like I'm not gonna. There's no way you can get. Well, there's no way I can get drunk off of this. And on top of that, it's cheap stuff, but oh well. So what happened? We were gonna take out the concentration camp, and I guess it seemed to be going all right. Eventually, when we first did it, we named Peter our leader. He's a very, very good swordsman, and so naturally he would be a good leader for us. We named him leader. Then we came up with a plan of, there was basically, so the concentration camp was this big like circle thing, and then at the front there was the front gate, and then in the back there was the thing that was controlling the gate and making it so that the people couldn't get out without getting like magically shocked. So sent two teams, one to attack the front gate as a diversion, and one to the back to take out the whatever was holding them. One of our team members named Joe was going to disable that. But, so whatever happened, I don't know. I was fighting, things went bad, I know I went down. I woke up, we were prisoners. Berg, the guy that we met up north, he ended up raiding our camp and managing to get me out of there, but we still had one of our party members there, and she was the main one that like patches us up too, so it was a very bad situation all around. I do believe Joe was able to disable the gate and the people were already out, but it just didn't go quite according to plan, and I guess that's good that all the people got out. Would have been a lot easier had not several of our party members left before, mainly one. So I was doing better, right? I was doing better. I got more expensive stuff. I was trying to not turn to alcohol and stuff. I was doing better. I was trying my best to be good and get better because her name was Lorelei, and I don't know, at first I didn't really care anything for her. Then I found out she was another half-elf, and she just is so sarcastic and funny, and I don't know, I'm 17, so Ben said I would eventually like just see people I liked, and yeah. So I was trying to get better so that I could talk to her sometime, but we wake up in the morning and she's not there, and there's this note there. And the gist of it was, I enjoyed traveling with you for a while. Now I have to go back to my home because I've learned what I needed to learn. And thank you for everything. I hope it goes well for you, and goodbye, basically. So she just left. She just took off. And I mean, of course, she was from another kingdom. It's not really her problem. And honestly, all these people that stick around that are from other kingdoms, I don't know why they do. But so much of our plan initially hinged on her ability to control fire. And then she's gone, and we don't have that. What are we gonna do? Of course the plan went south. Anyways, though, I've already mentioned that I attacked at the back. I got taken down. I remember waking up. I was barely alive. I was a prisoner. Someone came, fought, but our main healer, Lou, was still trapped in there. So then I went back. That party fund that I was keeping track of, I suggested we try to like bribe them and trade it out. Joe went down and tried to. It didn't work. Then a guardian showed up. And guardians, if you don't know, they're really, really powerful, and they can pretty much just stop you dead in your tracks if they want to. They're good people too, which is bad if they were bad people. But the guardian showed up and he stopped them and managed to help us get out of that situation and get Lou free. And so we go back to our camp. We're talking with the people there. There was a bard. There was a girl that had been experimented on. There was an opera singer, probably. She had a beautiful voice. She sang a lot of stuff. She was completely insane. And she kept on singing about we're all gonna die and everyone's gonna die. And eventually there was one point where she broke down, and I think she went back to sanity for a minute, and she cried. And the gist of what I understand is her entire family got killed. She was a mother, her husband died, she had 3 children, and they were killed in their sleep. And she was there to watch, and then she was taken and forced to sing. They do that with a lot of the singers. There's bugs in stables. But yeah, so she was going through a lot, I suppose, but she was like insane. And then the guardian, there was the rebel leader there too. I'm sorry, I'm getting confused. There was apparently a rebellion before us that was like a bigger group, and there was the rebel leader there, and we ended up giving him the money that we found from the doctor's fund, and in order to help him with that. So that was good, I guess, but then it got confusing. I was getting really upset because of that one girl and all the bad things that were going around, and my fancy alcohol that I helped me not drink so much, I was still drinking like my normal stuff, And yeah, I was at least buzzed. I don't know if I was drunk yet. But then the guardian came and asked to talk to me. And then he took me away and told me something. And when I got back, the guardian came again and he asked me where I was, and I said I was talking with you, and you said this. And he said, no, I didn't do that. So maybe it wasn't him. I don't really know. At the time, I was just thinking I might have hallucinated the whole thing because alcohol. But it was interesting. I don't know if I should really remember it or not, or care to consider it, whatever the case may be. Anyways, then he told us about our mission and how it would likely kill us all. Which, I mean, I don't care. I wanted to die. I kind of still do. I don't know. But he wanted to see how devoted we were to this cause. So he had a 3 test. And the first thing that he did was kind of simulated what it was like to be in a shooting line as far as an execution. And so we did that. Apparently there were cuffs that were supposed to like simulate how it felt. I cheated a little bit because I'm pretty decent at picking locks, so I just was like, well, I'll try it. And also I was kind of drunk at the time. I was tipsy. I was not drunk. I was tipsy at the time, and so I wouldn't be feeling as much anyhow. And so we go there, and I was debating about just taking them off because then I wouldn't feel anything and I could just mind the feel of it. I got one off though, so maybe it wasn't as good because I left the one on because I was feeling guilty about that. But yeah, that was very interesting. Honestly, after you go through fighting to take out the concentration camp, and guess what happens? A bug interrupts you. That's what happened. Guess what happens though? Would you stop? Okay, back to the matter at hand. After you go through that, and then guess what happens? You about die, and you get captured. That's a lot of pain right there. So shooting squad, not a big deal, especially when I do actually have stuff to help me at the moment. So yeah, not a big deal. Then he told us to take care of some goblins, which we tried to do, but there was a lot of them. And I don't know, he said that it was an impossible task and he wanted to see if we still tried impossible tasks or something. So we do that, and then he just takes us back to camp and says that, yeah, it was 2 impossible tasks and he wanted to see how devoted we were, so that, like, were we willing to die for this? And were we willing to keep going even when we were losing? And then he talked about why we were fighting. And he talked about the creator, which, of course, and whether we were willing to fight for this or not. As for me, yeah, sure, I am. And this is my home. I might as well go down fighting rather than just hide somewhere until they find me and kill me. And I'd still rather go down fighting, I guess, but I'm gonna go down. I'm probably gonna die tonight, actually. Anyways, he told us that the king was actually nearby. And I tried to sober up as much as I could at that point. It was like a chance to end this. And we did go there, and we met with the king's guard, and they were on our side actually, and they took us back to the king and were like, please try to convince him that what's going on is wrong. And we did go there and we did talk to him, but it became very, very clear right away that he wasn't really anything. He didn't know about anything that's happening in this kingdom. There were two advisors. There's that was person that had talked to us, and there was Wilby, which they say is the future was. And Wilby was clearly calling the shots because he talked to the king, and when he wasn't able to control it anymore, he had a stun gun. And he stunned all of us so that we couldn't move, and then he killed the king right in front of us. And then said that was going to be crowned king in 3 weeks at the Capitol, and we were supposed to be there. And if we weren't, people were gonna die. So we came. That's why I'm wearing this. Because it's a big party. And I mean, probably wouldn't let me in the door if I wasn't dressed up a little. Echo? What are you doing here? At the moment, I'm drinking. What?
Not what I mean. What are you doing in the capital? This place isn't safe for half-elves.
I'm aware. I'm going to die soon, so it doesn't really matter, does it?
And you want to die drunk?
I'm not gonna get drunk off of this. It's not high enough. I'm sorry. It's just been rough right now.
Did you get my message to Megan?
No, he wasn't around, but I got it to Constance.
Thank you.
No problem.
So, how have you been? I haven't seen you in a long time.
Okay, I guess. I joined the resistance, so...
I thought you would. You seemed like the type to want to fight rather than just lie still.
So it seems. Honestly, though, I've been kind of wanting to die for a while. For some reason, I still keep struggling.
But it's good. Some of us are too weak to struggle. So it's nice to know that there's someone out there fighting. There was this pamphlet that circled around recently from the Resistance, and it gave me hope in a time when I needed it the most.
Pamphlet? You mean the one about the concentration camp?
Uh-huh.
Why would that bring you hope?
Oh, I don't know. I guess I'm just one to always look at the bright side. At least that's what my father said.
Alright, so... how have you been?
Up and down, I guess.
Where are they?
They?
Your wings.
Oh, when they found out that I was helping the Resistance, They cut them off.
Max. They cut them off, Echo. That's like cutting off my arms. That's barbaric.
It's okay.
And
it wasn't that bad.
you act like it didn't even hurt.
Of course it hurt, but it wasn't that bad. They didn't kill me or put me in a camp. They just put me in the dungeon for a while. And they couldn't really get rid of me because I was the king's favorite singer. At the time, anyway.
I'm so sorry.
Gosh, it happened for a reason. And anyway, that wasn't the hard part. So, losing my wings, being in the dungeon, it wasn't nearly as bad. They couldn't hurt me. Not that much, anyway. But that wasn't true of my family. My father, my brother, my uncle, my cousin were all executed. And then I was thrown into the dungeon. That's the closest I've ever been to despair. But then, it was the pamphlet. And I was reminded that there were people out there trying. And people out there that were doing good. That my sacrifice and my family's wasn't in vain. So it was very good.
How can you be so hopeful? You've lost everything. How do you even smile?
My dad always said that I could go into the darkness night and still find the one ray of light from it and bring hope to people. That's why I became a musician. Music has a way of reminding people that there's beauty in the world still, and that there's order, and that there's a reason for things to be the way they are. I don't know why they're so horrible now, but I do know there is reason in it, and I do know it's done for good. Maybe I went through all this stuff so that I could help you now.
I'm not worth helping, Echo.
If you exist, you're worth helping.
That's the thing, Echo. I shouldn't even exist. I shouldn't have even been born. I'm half one thing and half another.
I'm not leaving. I don't give up on people. Please don't give up on yourself.
You don't know me, Echo. You don't know anything about me. I'm not a good person. When times get hard, I'm reckless, I'm stupid. I turn to alcohol.
Max, if you
And
exist,
people try to help me, and it helps for a little bit. But the day they die, I just go back to what I was. I go back not caring about anything. I go back to hating everything. I go back to drinking. I go back to stealing. I'm gonna die this evening anyway, so it doesn't matter.
I don't know your past or everything you've been through, but I do know you're worth something.
and you're just like that. Why do you care? You shouldn't care. You've been through so much yourself.
If you want to talk about it, I'm happy to listen.
Alright. But you have to promise me something.
It's fine.
You won't hate me. And you won't write me off.
You know I want it.
So, my mother's from Fabian House.